Hi, Aquarians. Rhonda here with your weekly reading. So sorry I missed last week. I was really sick, so I apologize, but I'm here now. And let's get started. So the first card you got is the Eight of Autumn, which is all about doing more research, right? Right? Before you move forward, it's time to do just a little bit more research. You need to get a little more facts, a little more before making a decision. You need to really do a little more looking into things, right? You may think you have your ducks in a row, but I think there's more ducks to get in a row. So do a little bit more research before you move on, right? Okay. And as your ally, you got the cosmos. And what a better way to get your ducks in a row and further investigation than with the cosmos. Because the cosmos is all about, that we co-create we are a co-creator with the divine in our lives, right? The divine helps us create. All of life is created, and we are able to influence. I'm going to read this because I can't word it right. Creativity in all forms is represented by the cosmos. This is a sign to place your attention on creative projects. They will be successful. Remember that all of life is creative, and you are always co-creating with the divine. The cosmos also represents the principle of infinity and vastness of the energetic exchange of consciousness influencing all living things. This teaches us that every intention we set is, in fact, contagious, with the power to influence others. We're entangled at our deepest energetic place, so we can't help but have an effect on others, from an individual level to a global one. This is a sign to remind you to open up to the well of creativity deep within you and be mindful of your thoughts and actions. Both are influencing your outer world. Most important, keep taking action towards your goals, as the cosmos responds perfectly to manifest your highest destiny. Expect to be inspired and to meaningfully touch others with all that you create. Okay, so in that way, think about, doing further research and tapping in to that divine energy and that cosmic exchange, right? It's a beautiful way for us to bring about our truest selves and our most creative selves, right? No matter what we're creating, especially life, and how that it so influences others too, right? The more beauty we bring to the world, the more beauty we see in the world, right? Okay. Next card you got is the Awakening card. And that's all about shifting perspective, right? And we've talked about this before, right? About changing the way you look at things, right? Shifting your perspective. Because sometimes we just need to think outside the box, right? Sometimes we need to just, I've known some Aquarians, they can be quite stubborn, and sometimes they're so stuck in their ways that they don't, they're the one sign in the zodiac that's known for their uniqueness and their outside the boxness, right? But when they set their mind at something, they can be quite stubborn and set in their ways, right? And so, you need to look at it from a different view, a different lens. Be open to that unique look that is the pride of your sign, right? Your uniqueness is your shining glory, and so use that uniqueness to be able to tap into looking at it from a different viewpoint. And as a challenger for that, you got the Desert Prince. And the thing about the Desert Prince is he's a mirage, right? He's a mirage. So that tells you to be careful about false pretenses and false promises and, you know, putting your faith in a mirage. Because if you're in the desert and you see a mirage and you're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need, but it's not maybe what you need. So this goes back to the first card too, right? Doing more research and making sure that what you're seeing is actually the truth, right? And not a mirage, right? Yep. Okay. And I know we've talked about this one before too, Queen of Winter, letting go of things that no longer serve you. You know, you're strong, you're self-reliant, you know. Every Aquarian I've ever known is strong and self-sufficient. They don't need somebody telling them what to do or how to do it or when to do it or why to do it, right? I think that's true. I think that is a very good card to describe Aquarians. But you know, and so, you know, but sometimes just like the rest of us, we get caught up in things that just aren't for, you know, always for us. Things aren't meant, some things aren't meant to stay in our life, right? Whether it's people or things or places or whatever, some things just aren't meant to stay. So making sure that you're letting go of things that don't serve your highest good, right? And that's when you tap into the cosmos, get those ducks in a row, and start looking outside the box and thinking about the mirages, and right, you can start going, you know what, I don't think that's really for me, you know? I think that's just a mirage. I thought it was for me, but it's not, right? And as a challenger for that, you did get the High Lady of Gratitude and Service. And as a challenger, she's saying, take that self inventory, right? Check in with yourself, right? And really look at, are your actions self-serving or are you really trying to help others, right? Hang on a second. I'm going to read a quote from this card for you because I think it's so beautifully done. And this is an ancient writing on a stone wall, and it says, true ambition is not what you believe it to be. No focus on winning a jewel prize and no amount of pomp and circumstance will achieve true prosperity. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of the divine in the service to all. Okay. Isn't that beautiful? I think that's beautiful. And so, you know, think about your ambitions right now and being you know, when you're looking at those illusions and looking at your ambitions and your goals and digging in, doing more research and really connecting with the divine and co-creating, think about that. Think about, how can I then be in service to others, right? How can I take what I'm learning and be in service to others and do it all in a state of gratitude, right? I think that's really, really important. For healing with the fairies, you got awakening your true self. As if a cloud lifted from your mind and heart, you're beginning to see life from the perspective of your old self. You just went through a period where you gave up who you are to please another person. You buried your interest, ignored your friends, and tried to fit into another person's lifestyle. Now your old self is emerging. You're back. As you recover your authentic self, your life and your personality are going through big changes. Hold tight and allow these changes to occur. The fairies ask you to trust the parts of your life and personality that are falling away, are inauthentic, and false. Know that you're building a solid foundation of truth and everything is working out perfectly right now. So again, that goes back to, you know, the mirages, the mirages in our lives, the letting go of things that no longer serve us and getting into connection with co-creating with the divine, right? Ties that all back together. And then you got an Earth Star Chakra card called Soul Memory. Find the balance and beauty in being present while drinking from the wisdom of the past. There is gold to be mined from what no longer is, and precious nuggets to be tilled from what is hidden. Sojourn in the deep. Travel for a while in time to receive the lessons still active for you. The greatest gift await you when you give yourself permission to go back and within to retrieve them. You cannot live in your memory, but it is good and advised to visit. And black kyanite is a crystal for that, and myrrh resin is the herb. And and that's good, when you're talking about looking at things from a different perspective, shifting your perspective is, okay, so this is what's going on in my world. And okay, so have I been in a similar situation in the past? What happened then? What's happening now? What's the comparison? What did I do then? What can I do now, and can I do it in a different way, right? So it is good to go back and go within and pick up those lessons. And maybe we didn't realize at the time it was a lesson, but maybe that's why we need to go back and take a peek at it and say, hey, what can I learn from that? Okay. And an intention for you this week is happiness within. I no longer seek outside of me what can be found and nurtured within. I recognize myself as the architect of my dreams. As I accept and love myself, I heal past trauma and find deep and abiding peace. I see that happiness is the result of internal transformation, not external change. Unakite jasper is the stone, and vetiver is the essential oil. My gosh, what a beautiful intention for you, especially with that soul memory card, right? And when you talk about the cosmos card and creating and looking at things from a new perspective and realizing that you are the architect of your dreams, right? And letting go of things that no longer serve you, that's healing your past and that trauma, right? And finding that peace. And really, I think that's the research you need to do before proceeding, right? Tapping into that, releasing that stuff, and moving forward, right? I think it's a beautiful message for you. Okay, Aquarians, that's all I have for you this week. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. For a personal reading, you can email me at bonadeahealingarts@gmail.com. If you feel called, I do have a link in the comment section for free will donations for the readings I do here on Facebook. If you feel called to that, I do appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And remember how much I love you. And I'll see you next time.